जय श्री माता जी। bow down to श्री माता जी and take बंधन। श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। महामंत्रास ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री गणेश मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। Keep your right hand on Mother Earth. राइट हैंड को धरती माँ के ऊपर रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, please cleanse our left channel through earth element। श्री माता जी, हमारे लेफ्ट चैनल को धरती तत्व द्वारा स्वच्छ कर दीजिए। कीप योर राइट हैंड टुवर्ड्स माता जी। राइट हैंड को माता जी की ओर करेंगे। लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स स्काई। लेफ्ट हैंड को आकाश की ओर करेंगे। माता जी, प्लीज क्लींस आवर राइट चैनल थ्रू ईथर एलिमेंट। माता जी, हमारे राइट चैनल को आकाश तत्व द्वारा स्वच्छ कर दीजिए। कीप योर लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स माता जी। लेफ्ट हैंड को माता जी की ओर करेंगे। Now we will keep our attention on सहस्रारा। अपना पूरा चित्त सहस्रार पे रखेंगे। माता जी, by your grace, give us thoughtless state of meditation। माता जी, आपकी कृपा से हमें ध्यान की निर्विचार स्थिति प्रदान कीजिए। In this meditative state, we will listen Shumata ji's speech. इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में हम शुमाता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. So much has been said, and really my heart is full of gratitude for all of you to come here all the way and the way people have described about Sahaja Yoga. To understand Sahaja Yoga, we should know where are we today in this Kali Yuga. What are we facing today? It should really make you feel quite disturbed to see the way things are going on in every country, everywhere. What's the problem? What is such a need for people to become so restless, full of tensions, collectively, country-wise? Anywhere you go, you find some sort of a confusion. Terrible. The whole society seems to be boiling with kind of a fear of destruction. What is the reason? There are so many religions, so many organized, disorganized, all kinds of things. There are so many sadhus and sants. There are so many books written about what you should have. But the only one who is a seeker of truth should see one point. Why? Why there is so much problem in this world, and how can you help them? Where is the problem? It is inside the human being. As described, you see, we have come out of animal stage to human stage. We have a human awareness, no doubt. In that awareness, we start seeing all kinds of things that are not good, which are destructive, which are disturbing. If it doesn't disturb you, that means you are not at all a sensitive person, but you are sensitive as a human being. So now, what is the reason for this? In every field of life, whether it is political, economic, or any field of life in which human beings are living, there is a very subtle problem which people don't understand. Now, if I say that there is spirit within us, which shines in our heart, we need not believe. Need not believe. But our attention is not on the spirit. They call it Atma Vimukh. Our attention is outside. At this stage, at the human awareness, our attention is outside. Outside in various things. Now, where should our attention go? To evolve for what? To achieve what? Firstly, our attention has now go towards our spirit, towards spiritual understanding. This is one thing has to happen to human beings to begin with. Otherwise, our attention is outside. We are worried about money, worried about power, worried about this, worried about that, in competition and all kinds of things going on. But if your attention is turned somehow towards your spirit, then what happens to you is that you become the power of the spirit. And the power of the spirit is the highest power that you could think of. First of all, spirit is the one that loves. Loves without asking for anything, without expecting anything, just loves. It's an unconditional type of a personality which just emits love. Anybody in trouble, anybody having a problem, just it flows. This capacity to flow in the heart exists. But on top of that is the closing point, is that our attention is not on our spirit. Even in political endeavors or your economic endeavors, any endeavor, what happens is that attention is outside. So you go into competition, you go into this thing, you go on becoming very competent and then suddenly find another one coming up. There are so many struggles when your attention is outside. Because in attention outside, there is no purity. There is no purity. It's just attention to yourself. And that too is so limited. Very limited it is, because if you pay attention to yourself, there's no end to your troubles and woes. For a person, as they said, really is fact that I don't mind sleeping anywhere. I don't mind eating anything. I am not bothered about all these things. It's a fact. Because, you see, it's not very important, I think. But without thinking, I'm made like that. I'm like that. All right. But Sahaja-yogis have become like this. This is the miracle that human beings have turned their attention to their spirit. Then you are amazed how things work out. Without any competition, without any fights, without any quarrels, how your attention becomes fixed on your spirit. The first thing that happens to you is good health. Your health improves. Firstly, if your health is all right, so many problems are solved. This world, I think, at least 30% people are always sick because of the tensions, maybe because of bad food and this and that. This is first thing that happens to you is your health improves. Today now, in Sahaja Yoga, we have people who have learned that by these modern ways of economics and all that, has not given any peace to anyone. We think of America. I've been to America, I know Americans, how terribly disturbed they are. Their families are ruined, their children are ruined, and all kinds of stupid things are happening. Our Indian gurus are going and making a big money there, and they just want peace. They just want peace of the heart. That's only possible when your attention goes to your heart, because in the heart resides the spirit, and the spirit is the source of peace. First is the love, and second, as I told you just now, is the peace. You become extremely peaceful. You become like a witness, and you see the whole drama like a joke. It's nothing so serious to be worried about. It all works out. And this is what one has to become, is to become the spirit, which is your own, which is in your own heart. And that is the source, as I told you, of love. And again, I say of peace. And the third thing that happens to you, that the source of spirit being joy, that joy bubbles in your life. It just bubbles in your life. You don't know how to get out of that great ocean of joy. You start swimming in it, enjoying it, every bit of it. You touch all the shores, going around the whole world, their hearts and everything. It is in the heart that resides. Again, I say, it is not in the brain. No mental activity can take you to spirit. Spirit is only possible if your attention could be somehow taken to the spirit. And that's possible only through Kundalini awakening. This change of attitude towards life, this change of complete peace and joy has come to you all because your attention is now on your spirit. Now you don't think of money. Money walks your way. You don't think of power. Power walks your way. And the power of the spirit is the highest, the most powerful, and the most righteous thing. It is not necessary that you should become a sannyasi, sadhu baba, do all kinds of things. No necessity of these rituals. The spirit is residing within you. Already all you have done in last lives. Now this life, only thing you have to do is to put attention to your spirit. And that's only possible through the awakening of this Kundalini, the primordial mother. When she starts, that's also your own. When she starts rising, she passes through these centers and enriches them, integrates them, and pierces through the last fontanelle bone area and makes you connected to this all-pervading power of divine love. But this power of divine love is not only the love, if you want to say, it is also peace and joy. And also it is the superior wisdom. It is rather subtle for normal man to understand, I know that. I've gone through that. For persons to understand that one can become the spirit. But this is in the evolutionary process. Today is the time for people to become the spirit. This is the blessing of this blossom time, as I call it. And people have to become the spirit. Otherwise, what is left of them is like all other human beings who will, I don't know where they'll end up. So this is an essential step today to become the spirit. All the saints, all the prophets, all the religions have talked about it. Not that they have not. Of course, we have twisted them, we have made separate things. But it's only one simple thing is that you are a spirit. And that spirit, unless and until you become, you cannot achieve any peace, any joy, and no love. The Sahajogis here who are sitting have achieved it. They don't think they are from foreign countries or from this country or that country. They don't want, now here it is in this camp, we don't have very good arrangements for sleeping or eating or anything, no good bathrooms, nothing. They are just enjoying themselves. Nobody minds it. Of course, certain things of particular country may linger on. But then it drops. It drops. Gradually it starts dropping out. Like a flower, when it becomes the fruit, all its petals and everything drops out, and then it becomes the fruit. So you have now become the fruit of knowledge, fruit of wisdom and of love. For knowledge, you don't have to read books. There's no need to. People who have read too many books are difficult to get Sahaja. But what you have to see yourself, what is the reality. But that's only possible if you are a realized soul. Otherwise, you get lost in the illusions of the world. You live with the illusions all your life, struggling, fighting, and I don't want to say what's the end is. So a simple thing that has happened with Sahaja Yoga in your evolutionary process, your attention now has gone to spirit than to anything else. As soon as the power of the spirit comes, you find yourself successful in everything. You don't want, you don't ask for it, and if you are not, you don't mind. You don't mind, because you think they don't understand, it's all right, forget it. So there's no use fighting for it, asking for it. For this, one thing is important. First and foremost thing, you have to forgive everyone. Human beings, I don't know, sometimes they're illogical. Supposing somebody tries to harm me, all right, I forgive him, forget it, because I have no headache of that. What he is trying to do is to give me a headache, which I will not take. I just forgive. So that is a very important point that Christ has also said, that you have to forgive. Muhammad Sahib has said so many things, but I don't know how people have twisted. Christ has said so many things, how I don't know how they are being twisted. Every one of them has said one thing, that you have to become the Spirit. And how people have twisted it and have formed so many religions, and in that religion, why should they quarrel? If there is one God, there should be no quarrel. Now in Sahaja Yoga, you find people have come from different faiths, different countries, different ideologies, everything. One thing great about Sahaja Yoga is they are very pure people. There's so much of purity in them. There's no problem. I do not have that problem of immorality in Sahaja Yoga. But we don't find anybody being immoral. If somebody has been immoral, he just gets corrected. If somebody has been cheating, he gets corrected. If somebody has been a corrupt person, he gets corrected. Because Spirit gives the light for you to see for yourself what is good for you. Supposing you are going on a road and you are blind, you can walk into a ditch. But supposing you have the light and the eyes open, you know how to go. And that's exactly what has happened in Sahaja Yoga, that people have realized how to move, how to go about, how to walk, and not to fall in the ditch. I have seen people who have fallen into ditch also. But I have nothing but love for them, because they were blind. You see, for a blind person, you can just have love, isn't it? And I found that once I forgive them completely, and I ask them, all right, even if they have abused me, said things against me, it's all right. Because they don't know what they're doing. They are blind people. So once you feel that way about others, that doesn't matter. Whatever they have done, whatever they have so far so-called harmed you also, is no harm to you, because you are standing on a pedestal of truth. So the second point is that the Spirit is the source of truth, not of untruth. For example, there is some false guru. Immediately you will know he's false. How? On your vibrations, on your fingertips, you know that this man is false. It's all said by Muhammad Sahib, that your hands will speak at the time of resurrection. That exactly happens, that you see this is the trouble. Now, if you want, you can avoid that person, or if you want, you can bring him around and put him right. But we should not try on the complicated characters very much. In the beginning I said, because they will complicate you. Now those people who have matured in Sahaja Yoga can easily manage that also. And also we must know that all the elements are working for us. All the events of the world are just to show how wrong things are wrong and how right things should be. Say, for example, when Hitler came, he started destroying people, and he took 9 years to build himself up. And he did all kinds of things which cannot be forgiven by anyone. But he died. And suddenly you find in Germany, people are so enlightened now. You heard some people, I was amazed how they are so enlightened about love and about the divine. All these countries I've seen are doing so well unexpectedly. Imagine in England, who came to India and ruled us for 300 years, there are so many Sahajogis. And also, as you see today, when I speak there, we have the whole hall filled up with people in England. I have seen also in the countries like Russia, where these people were on the verge of collapsing after they started on democracy. Whether it is democracy or communism or anything, these are all isms. You have to come out of it and see for yourself that so-called democracy has become demonocracy. So-called communism has failed. Why? Basically, what's wrong with them? It was all based not on the spiritual level. There was no spirit involved. It was all based on, I should say, on the endeavors which are outside, which were very limited. And those limits, once they break, you see, you have a problem. Now, economics, the world economics, if you see, is collapsing. Everywhere there is recession. If they are such experts, then why there is recession? Why there are problems? Now, the people who say we must remove the poverty, I agree, but not by giving some sort of a baker's gift, but with self-respect. You can do it. You can do it. Because if you can approach people who need with Sahaja and enrich them, you'll be amazed that themselves will do better and work it out. All kinds of things, you see, like in abroad, people used to say, Mother, you talk of spiritual life, then why is it India is so poor? I said, they are not so poor in spirituality. They may be poor in money. Those who have got lots of money, are they also very good people? Are they also doing something very good? In the same way, those who are poor are not doing something good that one should have compassion on. Agreed. Now what to do? If both sides are so miserable, what should we do? Is to change them. Change the whole attitude towards life. Immediately, I've seen people who are supposed to be rich start understanding poverty. They start sharing. They start working it out. In Sahaja Yoga, you'll be amazed how people help each other, how they work out everybody's difficulties and problems into something very beautiful. You see, it's the wisdom that you get from this all-pervading divine power. This power has been described in every religion. You call it Nirakar, you call it Ruh, you can call it Param Chaitanya, you can call by any name. But name is not the point. Whatever it is, once you are connected with this power, you are blessed. 1,000 times you are blessed than you are as a normal human being. As a normal being, no blessings it has. It has nothing but your own endeavor, that the amount you push in, that's what you get. Here, nobody pushes oneself. Automatically you are pushed into that. This force, divine force, brings you to that. And you have seen that in your own lives, how you came to me, how you came to Sahaja Yoga. It was some sort of a divine force which worked it out, which is Sahaj, which you may not realize, but when you get your realization, you just think about your own life, how I came to Sahaja Yoga, how I got this. And then you see this peace reigning over your hearts, the love, affection, everything. What is, as he said, I have many powers, maybe, I don't know, but one thing for definite, one thing that Sahajogis can get all my powers. As a mother wants to give everything to Sir Yogesh. This greatest joy for a mother is to see her son or daughter grow up like her. I have a great vision of life, and I see the picture of that here today. I was an ordinary housewife without much money. You know, my interest in money is zero. I don't understand even the bank, and somebody has to sign a check for me. And my husband has to count my money. I'm so bad. But still, I've never had problem. Never had problem. Because it is the greed in man, terrible greed in man, that creates problems. But if he learns how to be satisfied, automatically the greed drops out and you feel absolutely comfortable. But that doesn't mean that you become a sadhu baba or you become a sannyasi or something you give up. Those days are gone. Those ordeals you have passed through, you have been to Himalayas, you have stood on your heads and did all kinds of things. Now no more is needed. What is needed is that you have to put your attention to your spirit. The more you do it, the more you absorb all other attentions and put it to your spirit, which is there already existing. There is nothing to be brought from outside or nothing to be learned. It is inside every one of you, is in the heart. Only thing you have to just feel it. Now that feeling can only come if you are awakened in the Kundalini. I know that no one like Muhammad Sahib or Christ or Abraham or Moses, who have created books or whatever history they have created, nowhere they would have ever thought that people will form an organized religion and start in a way as if they are against each other. But it has happened. It has happened. To remove that, you have to give them the knowledge, the pure knowledge, not the knowledge of the book, but the pure knowledge, and the knowledge that is pure is wisdom. Through this wisdom only I have worked. This wisdom I had from my childhood. Nobody has given me, it's there. But this wisdom has taught me one thing, that whatsoever may be the condition of a human being, whatsoever may be his style, whatsoever may be his ego or his conditioning, if he can feel the love, then his spirit gets awakened. This transformation has taken place. Here we have only 1% of the people who have got realization all over the world. But I remember them all today who are not here, that they have been seekers, madly seeking the truth. They went through horrible times seeking. They had very bad gurus, they had all kinds of expenses, everything they did. But once they came to Sahaja Yoga, they have found what was the truth. And the truth is very simple, that you are the spirit. You are not this body, this mind. But you are the spirit. This is the truth, and they have found the spirit. That's what is the truth that they have found. Once this truth is established within you, that you are the spirit, nothing can destroy you. Nothing can harm you. It cannot have any wants. It doesn't have. What wants can you have when you have the spirit? Because it's such a satisfying thing. It doesn't condemn anyone. It doesn't run after anyone. It's satisfied with itself. Absolutely satisfied. You see, I was very anxious that I should lead a very normal life. I should not be like some Himalaya fellow or something like that. Because this is needed for a common people. Today it's a mass awakening. It is not for one person. This was the thing, because once any discovery is made, supposing, and that discovery only is for one individual, it has no meaning. It has to go to masses. And this is what I knew. I have to do it. And I had to work. They say so, but I don't think I ever worked. I was just witness to the whole thing. I saw it just like a witness, enjoying all kinds of things. As you sit on the shore of an ocean, you see waves coming, going like that. But inside that is a human being who wants to evolve, who wants to become the spirit. Then he starts thinking what good he can do to others. So far, I've been very anxious that people should become Sahajogis. I didn't take to any missionary work or any social work. I used to do when I was not in Sahaja, I should say, when I didn't start the Sahaja. But later on, I discovered that unless and until you transform people, unless until you become the spirit, you will become like any other social worker. I was working in a, say, blind school. I was the chairman of the blind school, blind people. And I was surprised. The people who were with me were very funny type, you know. The governor was to come. And they said, who will sit next to governor? I said, what is this? So they said also, I being the president, I have to sit. I said, not necessary. I can sit anywhere. But they all started quarreling on this point. So I said, all right, we'll take a plank and put it on head of the governor. And you all sit on that like sparrows. That humor helped a lot, and they settled down. So this is the stupid thing where you sit, what is your position, what do you get? I mean, it's so stupid that even the ant knows how to work out the collectivity. I don't know how human beings are dying after useless, nonsensical things. But the only thing is, he has not yet become the spirit. So he doesn't respect himself. No respect. So he does all these things which are not very respectable, I think. Then I thought that this kind of work people are doing, they think no end of themselves. Once you start doing something good, why should you think you are very great? I can't understand. You see, my brain is that way useless. Because what I found with these people who are working with me, very anxious to take the credit for these. Somebody wanted to become the chairman, vice chairman. I said, you become everything. So the attention being on your promotion, it's not a real promotion, no promotion. Everybody is to laugh at them. It's a degradation. Your promotion is not through your own being, but through your own spirit. Being means a very big thing, I think, but spirit is very subtle, very beautiful, which is residing in all of you like a light. It's a light in you. Now there are so many Sahajogis who are giving enlightenment to others. There are people who are going all over the world. I was surprised that people from Germany and Austria came to help me when I first went to Russia. I said, what are you doing here? He said, Mother, we have to do something because so many people were killed by our forefathers. But my heart started really thanking them. Look at this, what has come into them. Then they went, you'll be amazed, to Israel. And from Israel, they brought lots of Sahajogis to Egypt. So I asked the Israelis, Sahajogis, why are you here? They said, Mother, it's our job now to make friends with these Sahajogis from Egypt. Just see how love engulfs all these angularities, all these thorns of life, and dissolves it completely. It's so joy-giving to see your love acting on others. Small, small things and very big things, all that works out with love. For example, in an industry now, people have problems of strikes. Very common struggle, haves and have not, and this is going on. But if you can raise the people to the spiritual height, to their spiritual need, which is the most important need today, you will be amazed there will be no problem of any kind. You see, it is a kind of a communism. It's a kind of a socialism. It's a kind of a democracy. It's all things put together which works. Democracy means we have Sahajogis who wanted to organize this. They said, Mother, what should we do? I said, I'm not going to say anything. You do what you like. You choose whatever you like, whatever you want to do. And I was just busy arranging the flowers in the house because so many flowers came and I'm worried about the flowers. I was just arranging the flowers in the house. And what I find, now see how they have done it? No quarrel, no fight, no discussion, nothing. How have they done? Otherwise you cannot make 10 people sit together and talk the same day. One will talk, another will talk, another will talk. We'll go on discussing this, reaching nowhere. Otherwise, only one man has to work it out. Otherwise, nothing can work. So, you see, it changes the whole atmosphere of every human being. Changes his attitude, changes his endeavors, and everything becomes so beautiful and joyful. You are a socialist also, because you start thinking about the people who are downtrodden, people who have no money, who are poor, and you try to work out something by which they get some money. I used to go with my father for a case in a district called Chanda. And there I saw people just with one cloth around them. What was shocking to me. Just one cloth, whether it is winter or summer. I used to weep. So my father would say, why do we weep for them? I said, what can I do? I must try to do something for them. Now when I got so many Sahajogis, I told them, I want to help these people somehow. And what they make is pottery. So they said, Mother, all right, you can get the pottery. We'll import here and we'll sell them. You'll be amazed now these people have got houses, they have got a good life to live, and they are living very well. So in a way, it is a kind of a socialism. That you see problems and you know collectively to solve it. Collectively. Not singularly, but collectively. All of the Sahajogis suggest, Mother, this can be solved. So far, I have not done anything directly, I must say, like starting an organization of that kind. But now, when there are so many Sahajogis with their attention on their heart, now my attention is going to the people who need our help. So first time, I have asked them to make an NGO for destitute women and for children who are being deserted by their parents. And immediately you will be amazed with all that. We got the land, we got the people. I'm not doing anything. And it's all done. Moreover, so many people have written, Mother, if you want land, we can give. You come here, do this, do that. Can you imagine? Once I just thought of it, that we have to do something for the poor people. Also, so many things can be done with your attention, which is pure, full of love. Because the love, you see, is something that gives you the wisdom how to do it. If you have love, it gives you the complete insight into the problems and how it works. See, it's surprising. For me, I used to do that always. But even after Sahaja Yoga, I found that is the love is the solution. Is the only way we can enter into the hearts of people.
Thank you, Shumanti ji, for all the divine blessings. Bow down to Shumanti ji and take बंधन. शुमाता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे. जय माता जी. Some announcements are there. कुछ announcements है. Global Central Committee members, country coordinators, council members, World Foundation members, and foreign representatives are requested to meet their India counterparts for an interaction at 3 p.m. today in the hall behind Foreigners Dining. Global Central Committee members, country coordinators, council members, World Foundation members, and foreign representatives are requested to meet their India counterparts for interaction at 3 p.m. today in the hall behind the foreign dining. The morning session will begin at 10:30 a.m. It will include following programs. First, it will be medical seminar with question and answers, and then cultural performance by सहयोगीज. आज सुबह का सेशन 10:30 बजे शुरू होगा. इसमें मेडिकल सेमिनार होगा क्वेश्चन और आंसर के साथ, और सांस्कृतिक प्रोग्राम रहेंगे सहयोगियों के द्वारा सादर किए हुए. जय श्री माता जी.